Hello, girls. How are you? I welcome you all to today's English class. In my previous class, you know that I have discussed some rules of completing sentences. And I told you that those rules are not complete. I have to come back with another class to discuss some other rules. And today I will discuss some other rules of completing sentences. Okay, so these are very important and it needs your utmost attention. Okay, so let's go and see what are the rules we are going to discuss today. So today's first rule, rule number 17, that is would rather plus verb plus than plus verb or noun. First of all, we have to remember that would rather is a modal auxiliary, and this modal auxiliary is used to show our preference between two choices. Okay, suppose we prefer one choice and then we use this auxiliary, modal auxiliary would rather, and after would rather we have to use the verb in the present form. Okay, and remember one very important thing, that in this structure we have to use then. Okay, it is not then, then, not that, it is then, then, and after then we have to use sometimes verb in the present form or sometimes noun. Okay, so like these examples, I would rather die than bake. So you see that death is preferred here to me, okay, than begging. So I prefer death, okay, to begging. And that's why I am saying like this. I would rather die than beg. That is the first example. In the second sentence, he would rather drink tea than coffee. So here also we have used would rather, and in the middle then, but before then we have used a noun tea, and after then also we have used another noun coffee. So the main thing is would rather, then verb, then, and after then verb or noun. Okay. So next rule, rule number 18, that is had better. Almost similar to rule number 17. Okay, so what is the purpose of the use of had better? Yes, I'm telling you. Had better, we use this modal auxiliary in order to express some suggestion or advice. Okay, whenever we're going to give some suggestion, sometimes to ourselves also, sometimes to myself also, sometimes to others, suggestion or advice, okay, then we use this modal auxiliary had better. And after had better, we have to remember that always we have to use the present form of the verb. Okay, don't be confused seeing had, that, but it is actually a modal auxiliary, had better. And after this we have to use verb in the present form. Okay, like these examples. I had better ring him at once. Okay, so it's a suggestion to myself actually. I had better ring, you see, ring, that is in the present form. Okay, next sentence. You had better leave the place. Okay, another sentence. He had better go home. So almost similar. I think that you have understood. This is very easy. Just remember, after had better, you will always use present form. Okay, then rule number 19. And rule number 19, you see, provided, provided that, providing that, or if. Okay, they almost have the same meaning. And after this, we have to use a meaningful sentence. Okay, so just remember that provided that, providing that, or if, they are almost synonymous. They have almost same meaning. Okay, like these examples. I will agree to go providing that my expenses are paid. Okay, so here you can just replace providing that with if. I will agree to go if my expenses are paid, no problem. Okay, another sentence, he will shine in life provided that he works hard. Well, so provided that, if you just say he will shine in life if he works hard, what's the problem? Same thing, same meaning. Okay, but if you see provided that, if you see provided, then you will understand that yes, I should just take it as if and then write the next sentence. Okay, then the last example, the plane will take off in time provided the weather is good. Okay, so provided, providing, provided that. Okay, or if, these are the options we have to remember. Okay, now in rule number 20, sometimes you can find since or as or because. Okay, since or as or because. It means since or as or because. These conjunctions actually mean some causes. So whenever you will get them in the sentences, then you will understand that yes, these are the causes. And now I have to write the effects. Okay, I have to write the result. So with since, as, because, there is a subordinate clause, okay, that expresses some cause, and I have to now write the effects. Meaningful sentence means you will write the effects in that meaningful sentence, in that sentence. And another thing you will remember that the same tense you have to use in both of the parts, okay, in both of the clauses. Remember, same tense you have to use in both of the clauses, like these examples. As he behaved rough, he was punished. You see, as he behaved rough, this is the cause actually. He was punished. That was the result. And same tense has been used. Behaved rough, that is the past indefinite tense. And was punished, that is also past indefinite tense. Another sentence, everybody loves him because he is honest. You see, because he is honest, that is the subordinate clause and present indefinite tense. And also in the main clause, everybody loves him. Present indefinite tense has been used in the main clause. Okay. Third example, crops did not grow well since there was drought. So you see, since there was drought, this is the cause actually. And in the main clause beginning part, crops did not grow well, so that is the effect. And again, same tense, past indefinite tense has been used. So remember, in this structure, just remember that the same tense has to be used in both of the parts. Okay, in one part cause, another part effect. Okay, I hope that you have understood. Now, rule number 21. Okay, so you can get sometimes because of, or on account of, or owing to, or due to. Okay, almost they are synonymous. They have the same meaning. And after these phrases, you have to use a meaningful word or phrase. Okay, you cannot write any clause or sentence after because of, or after on account of, or owing to, or due to. Remember, after this you have to write more meaningful word or phrases like this. Everybody loves him because of his honesty. You can never write everybody loves him because of he is honest. No, no, you can never do this. You have to say a word or phrase after because of. Everybody loves him because of his honesty, because it's a simple sentence. Because of, or on account of, or owing to, or due to, these are actually used in simple sentences. Clear? Then second example is, on account of his illness, he could not go to college. Same thing. On account of, and after that we have used the phrase his illness. Okay, he could not go to college. Third sentence is, the writer dared not drive due to fog. So due to, almost same meaning, because of, and after that we have used other just single word, fog. Okay, so these are very easy, and I am again reminding you that because of, on account of, owing to, due to, these are used actually in simple sentences, and after these phrases we have to use a word or phrase. Okay, if you get no sooner had in the beginning of a sentence, then remember you have to use then in the middle as a conjunction. Okay, it is then, T-H-A-N, not then, T-H-E-N, of course. So no sooner had, then some words you will get, and then in the middle. Okay, and sometimes you can also get a scarcely had in the beginning of a sentence, and in that case you have to use when in the middle as a conjunction. Okay, so in case of no sooner had, use then in the middle as a conjunction. In case of scarcely had, use when in the middle as a conjunction. And finally, in case of hardly had, okay, use again when in the middle as a conjunction. And after that, after then or when, okay, in the second part, use past indefinite tense. Okay, so this is a very frequently used structure, you have to remember. And we also see students committing mistakes because they don't write then, they write then, or sometimes they write nothing. Okay, so you will be mistaken, but I think that after listening this, you have just taken this in your mind as a note, that no sooner had, in case of no sooner had, we have to use then. In case of scarcely had, we have to use when. And in case of hardly had, we have to use when. Okay, and finally in the second part of the clause, we have to use past indefinite tense, like these examples. No sooner had I heard the news than I rushed to the spot. Okay, so you see in the first part, no sooner had and then past perfect tense had been used, and in the second part, after then, past indefinite tense has been used. So just you be careful about the use of the tense also. In the first part, past perfect tense, and in the second part, past indefinite tense. Then again, second example, scarcely had we reached the station when the train left. Okay, same tense. In the first part, past perfect tense, and in the second part, past indefinite tense, and in the middle, conjunction when. Okay, and third example, it is starting with hardly had. Again, past perfect tense had been used. Hardly had he reached the college. In the middle, the conjunction when has been used. And then finally, in the second part, the examination began. That means past indefinite tense has been used. Okay, so I think you were clear, and just you have to practice more and more sentences with these examples, with these exercises, and then you will be clear. Okay, because we know that practice makes one perfect. So if you practice more, then it will be clear to you. Now, rule number 23. And in rule number 23, we have to learn the use of let alone, which is actually used to say two negative sentences together. Okay, two negative sentences together. Suppose someone cannot cook rice, and that very person also cannot cook biryani. So two negative things. Cannot cook, first one cannot cook rice, and then cannot cook biryani. When we just want to say these two negative things together, then before the second part we use let alone. Like this. He cannot pass in the third division, let alone first division. Okay, so he cannot pass in the third division, he cannot pass in the first division. Two negative things. First one he cannot do, and that's why second one it is more impossible. He cannot do. Okay, so before second one we have used let alone. In the second example, I cannot swim a kilometer, let alone 10 kilometers. That means I cannot swim a kilometer, 1 kilometer. I cannot swim 10 kilometers. Second one is more impossible. And before second one, we use let alone. Third example, the old farmer cannot visit a small town, let alone a big town. Okay, so the old farmer cannot visit a small town. Again, the old farmer cannot visit a big town. Okay, so first one is negative, and that's why second one is more negative, and that's why we have used let alone before the second one. The old farmer cannot visit a small town, let alone a big town. like this. This is very easy to remember, and I think that it will not create any difficulty for you to remember this structure of let alone, right? So in rule number 24, if you get till as a conjunction in the middle of a sentence, then remember that after till, you can use a meaningful affirmative sentence or a negative sentence. That means both options are open after till. You can use affirmative or you can use also negative. Like this. Wait till I come back. Affirmative has been used here, right? And in the second sentence, mother will be nursing him till he doesn't come round. So after till we see negative sentence has been used. So both are possible after till. But in rule number 25 you see that after until we only use affirmative sentence, a meaningful affirmative sentence. Remember this. After until, we only use a meaningful affirmative sentence. We never use a negative sentence. We cannot use negative sentence after until because until itself gives the negative meaning, right? Like this. Stay inside the hotel until I come back. Okay, so you can never say stay inside the hotel until I do not come back. No, then you will be mistaken, right? So you have to say stay inside the hotel until I come back. So after until, always use affirmative sentence, right? In rule number 26, you can see that present indefinite tense or present perfect tense might be there in the beginning, and after that since in the middle as a conjunction, and after since you have to use past indefinite tense. So if you just get present indefinite or present perfect tense before since, then you have to use past indefinite tense after since. Okay, remember like these examples. It is many years since you left the country. So you say before since the tense is, that means present indefinite tense, and after since we have used you left the country, that means left past indefinite tense, right? So present indefinite since past indefinite, like this. Second example, many years have passed since we last met. So you see, before since we see the use of present perfect tense, have passed, and after since we see last met, that is past indefinite tense. Okay, so I think that you have understood the structure. In 27, first, if you get past indefinite tense, then in the middle since as a conjunction, then remember after since you have to use past perfect tense. That means before since, if there is past indefinite tense, then after since you have to use past perfect tense. Like these examples, it was many years since you had left the country. You see, it was many years, was. So was of course indicates past indefinite tense. Like, and after since we see the use of had left, that is past perfect tense. So remember, past indefinite since past perfect, as in the second example also. Many years passed since we had last met. So you see, before since past indefinite tense, and after since past perfect tense. Okay, dear students, in rule number 28, if you get past perfect tense in the beginning of a sentence, and after that if you get before in the middle as a conjunction, then in the second part you have to use past indefinite tense. Okay, I am again telling you that first past perfect tense, then before in the middle, and in the second part past indefinite tense. Okay, like this example, we had finished our first year syllabus before the lockdown started. So you see that in the first part the verb had finished, which indicates past perfect tense, and in the second part lockdown started, so it is the use of past indefinite tense, right? So past perfect before past indefinite, remember. In 29, okay, just a reverse structure. First, you will get past indefinite tense, and then in the middle, after as a conjunction, and then in the second part, past perfect tense. Like this example, the spider succeeded to reach the ceiling after it had failed 6 times. So you see, in the first part, succeeded, that is past indefinite tense. Succeeded is the use of past indefinite tense, and then in the second part, had failed, that is past perfect tense. Okay, so past indefinite, then after, then past perfect. So just 29 and 28 and 29, these two structures are frequently used, and you have to remember them very well. Okay, and these structures will also help you in right form of verbs also. Okay, then in the final structure, that is rule number 30. Okay, you will get some phrases here like this: with a view to, look forward to, in addition to, accustomed to, be used to, get used to. Okay, so after these phrases, you have to use ing form of the verb. Okay, normally we know that after to we use present form of the verb, base form of the verb. But remember, after this phrasal to, we have to use ing form of the verb. Okay, like these examples. We are staying at home with a view to remaining safe. With a view to, then remaining, remain plus ing, remaining safe. Remember, another example. I am looking forward to getting a reply from you, from her, sorry. So you see, I am looking forward to getting. So I am looking forward to getting, that is the ing form of the verb we have used. Okay, then third example, have you already got used to staying at home? So we have used ing after stay, staying it has been. Okay, so one thing I would like to tell you that you can see here, be used to. After be used to, you have to use ing from the verb. Of course it is right. Okay, but after used to, remember, after used to, you have to use the present form of the verb. Okay, like this: I used to walk by the riverside every afternoon when I was a child. I used to walk by the riverside every afternoon when I was a child. So I used to walk. We have used the present form of the verb. And another sentence, you listen. I am used to getting up very early in the morning nowadays. You see, I am used to getting up very early in the morning nowadays. So after am used to, which represents be used to, same thing. We have used ing from the verb getting. So after be used to, you have to use ing from the verb, and after used to, you have to use present form of the verb. Okay. Dear students, based on the rules I have discussed today and also in my previous class, I have said some examples here. Okay, you will just complete the sentences, and when it will be over, you keep it with yourself. When the class will be open, then you will show me this, okay, in the class. And if you want to do some more exercises, you can also, of course, do this. Okay, if any book is available at your home at this moment, then you can also complete some more sentences from those books, no problem. And then we will discuss those also in the class. Okay, so I think that you have so far given me a very patient hearing. Thank you very much for that, and stay safe at your home. Thank you very much.